I found this diary buried beneath dust and mildew, hidden inside a forgotten cottage that sat in the middle of a bog. The stepping stones to its door appeared and disappeared as they pleased, as if the house itself decided who was worthy of entry. The pages are brittle, the ink smudged, but the words, they breathe. Each one carries the weight of something lived, something witnessed. This is not a story meant to be told. It is a confession meant to be overheard. The diary belongs to a girl named Tuesday, and the moment I opened it, the ravens began to watch me too. Asterisk. On Tuesdays, the ravens sit closer. They hop along the balustrade of Hollowshade's east terrace and watch like predators. I take it as a compliment. Carrion birds rarely invest their attention unless they expect a return. The headmistress insists I introduce myself to the class as a late transfer. That is true in the way a death notice is true. It says what happened and spares you the colour. I am here because my last school grew squeamish when the science department misplaced a cadaver arm. The arm was not lost, only misunderstood. I found it in the music room, keeping time on the metronome. Some institutions do not appreciate initiative. Hollowshade smells like rain and old secrets baked into stone. The gargoyles have algae in the corners of their mouths like dried laughter. Students pass by in uniforms that try very hard to be normal. The effect is charming the way a wolf in a cardigan might be charming if you do not look at the teeth. Juniper Bloom finds me before anyone else can. She radiates sherbet and perfume, all bright smile and enthusiastic vowels. Her nails are little flags. She says my name 3 times as if she is learning a spell and offers to help me find my room. I accept because kindness is a rare taxidermy, best preserved when you do not manhandle it. She leads me down a hall that hums with old arguments. There is a nail polish smell and beneath it something metallic. The door swings open to a room that has clearly been divided in a treaty. Half is sunlight, throw pillows and posters that sparkle. The other half is neat and exact. Books knifed into order, violin case aligned with military precision, a typewriter that looks like it disapproves of everyone. Juniper announces me like a parade float. The typewriter clicks, which is impressive since no one is touching it. Then Tuesday, Graye looks up from a page and I understand why the ravens sat close. Tuesday studies me with the practical interest of a coroner. She catalogues, notates, and files. I offer a small nod. We share a bloodline in the way graveyards share a horizon. Not immediate, not distant. A cousin through someone twice removed at midnight. "You must be Tuesday," she says. "Only on the calendar," I say. "I answer to most things if they are spoken with feeling." Juniper practically vibrates. "She is staying down the hall, but I wanted you to meet. Cousins, family. This is so fun." Fun is a word with many chambers. I file it away for later. Scraps peeks from a hat box, stitched fingers twitching in greeting. His button eyes catch the light like secrets. He pats my wrist, as if checking for a pulse I have hidden. I let him find it. It is polite to indulge an artist. It is nearly curfew when the first oddity arrives. A paper bird sits on my windowsill, folded from a torn obituary. Its wings whisper when the wind knifes in. I unfold it and discover a single sentence in small, angular hand. Grace is a lie. Most people would be confused. I am not most people. There is a nursery rhyme about days of the week and the character flaws they assign. Tuesday's child is full of grace. It has always felt like a dare. I take the note to Tuesday. She reads it without comment and opens a drawer where she keeps other single sentences. They are all cut from the same hand. Juniper looks between us like a spectator at a chess match that smells faintly of formaldehyde. "Someone is trying to make conversation," I say. "Or confession," Tuesday says. "Or theatre," Juniper says hopefully. We go out after lights. The corridors are full of dust in rehearsal. The moon lays out a clean line for us to follow. as if it has been practicing for this moment all month. Scraps keeps pace at our ankles, a silent metronome. On the quad, a gargoyle has leapt. It lies shattered in a patient circle of stone teeth. The impact crater is clean. There are no footprints around it. This means the gargoyle did not fall. It was encouraged. The circle glints with a residue that is not dew. I touch it and smell resin, citrus, and violin rosin. The music room keeps odd hours. Gargoyles do not jump, Tuesday says. They also do not write notes, I say. Juniper wraps her arms around herself and looks at the sky like it owes her an apology. Could we not, for once, have a drama that involves hot chocolate and a misunderstanding about a winter formal theme? In my experience, I say, hot chocolate hides more bodies than it comforts. The greenhouse is warm and carnivorous. Vines reach with the patient confidence of debts. The night blooms open with quiet little mouths. Someone has left a violin on the bench, its bow sugar-dusted with rosin. I lift it, draw one long line across the strings, and the glass panes above our heads tremble. A thin crack scars the nearest pane and then stops. It looks like a map to a small country that does not want visitors. There is a smear on the bench, plant sap mixed with something protein-rich. I taste a degree. It is not human blood. Amphibian? A frog, perhaps, the kind you dissect and then dream about. The smear forms letters, not written with purpose, but left by use. The letters spell grace again. Someone has been practicing the same word over and over until it stopped meaning anything. Tuesday sets the violin down with affection that does not touch her face. If this is theatre, it is badly cast. Maybe it is an understudy clawing for attention, I say. Juniper makes a small sound. She has found another paper bird tucked into the soil of a carnivorous pitcher plant. The plant has not eaten it, which suggests taste. We unfold the bird and find a date. The date is tomorrow. We go back before the prefects find us. I cannot sleep. The school settles and complains. Pipes rattle, radiators sigh. 1,000 small animals in the walls hold very still and hope no one notices they are alive. I sit at the window and count ravens. They hop along the balustrade like arguments trying to become conclusions. Morning arrives with bells that sound like iron laughing. Classes are a parade of things that would be interesting if they were not trapped in rooms. In History of Outcasts, the teacher tells a story about a witch trial that was really an inheritance dispute. In biology, a frog accepts its fate with dignity while Juniper apologizes to it under her breath. Tuesday writes notes in a script that looks like it plans a war. I consider the word grace and the way it tastes when you say it like a threat. Just before lunch, the entire school is herded into the great hall for an assembly. The headmistress looks like a painting that has learned to frown. She announces that there have been acts of vandalism and that the administration will respond with appropriate vigour. The student body murmurs with the excitement of people who have never been bored properly. The lights dim. A projector whirs to life. At first the screen shows a simple image, the campus gate. Then the image shifts. The gate appears and disappears as if the film has been spliced by a nervous hand. There is a shape behind the bars. It resolves into a dress on a hanger, elegant and old. Pins keep it in place, but the pins are not in the gate. They are in the film itself. Someone has stitched things into the frames. The dress is embroidered with a familiar nursery rhyme. Monday's child is fair of face. Tuesday's child is full of grace. Each line glimmers where the light catches it. Each line has been cut in places and re-sewn with a darker thread. Students whisper. Juniper grips my wrist. Tuesday watches as if the projector has brought her a personal challenge wrapped in celluloid. The headmistress calls for the lights. The film burns through the last frame and spits itself silent. After the hall empties like a wound, we stay. The projectionist is a senior who smells of nervous sweat and popcorn. He swears he only ran what he was given. The reel case sits open. The label reads "Found Film." Someone left it at the door before dawn. We take the reel. Tuesday insists on developing more frames in the darkroom. I do not object. Chemicals make sense. They tell the truth, even when the people using them do not. In the red hush of the room, images appear slowly. The gate again, the dress again. Then a series of close images. Stitching needle, hands that look small and steady. On one frame, the needle rests in the loop of the word grace. On the next, the loop has been cut. Someone is editing a life, I say. Or a legend, Tuesday says. Juniper looks at both of us. Do either of you ever consider that sometimes a prank is just a prank? Yes, Tuesday says, usually right before it stops being one. By afternoon, the school is a rumour mill in labour. Reports fly in at speeds usually reserved for bats. A statue in the library has been blindfolded with a black ribbon. The bell in the tower rang 13 times at noon. The koi in the garden pond now swim in precise words that spell grace any time the wind sighs. This last is my favourite. Fish who spell are rare and usually in poor taste. We keep moving. Patterns thrive on attention. Ignoring them is impolite. The taxidermy lab is quiet and smells like patience. Glass eyes watch from trays with the resigned wisdom of witnesses who were ignored and then proved right. A case stands open. The labels are neat. Vulpes vulpes, Corvus corax, Felis catus. The fox is missing one eye. The raven is missing both. The cat stares with one blank socket that says more than the remaining glass ever could. On the back wall, someone has pinned an index card. It has one word on it, Grace. The letters have been stitched with hair. I step closer. The hair is pale and fine. Juniper goes very still. Her hand rises to her head and comes away with a small, shocked sound. A lock is missing. It is not obvious, a neat theft performed by someone who respects their craft. I fold the index card and place it in my pocket like a debt. Tuesday studies the empty sockets in the animals. Her voice goes softer, which means it goes sharper. Eyes are trophies when the hunter is lazy, she says, but they are messages when the hunter is careful. What is the message? Juniper asks. That the watcher is being watched, I say. Scraps knocks a little rhythm on the glass tray. His stitched fingers tap out a short question. Who? We do not answer. Names are the last thing you give away. Evening brings fog that rolls in with the confidence of a rich aunt. The campus turns into islands separated by milk. I like it. Boundaries become suggestions. We retrace our path to the greenhouse and find a new paper bird perched on the violin's bridge. Inside is a map of the campus drawn on the back of a funeral program. A dotted line runs from the gate to the bell tower, to the taxidermy lab, to the quad. It ends at the east terrace where the ravens prefer to sit when they hope for a good ending. We climb. The terrace opens to the night like a jaw. The shattered gargoyle below looks content with the attention. There is a small object on the balustrade. It is an eye of glass. It looks like every eye looks when it has been divorced from context, lost and very honest. Next to it is a single thread, dark as a promise. I do not touch either. A shape moves near the far archway, small, precise, not hurried. It turns its head and watches us watch it. For a moment I see the neat hands from the film and the needle resting in the loop of a letter. The shape tilts, as if measuring whether we will be enough. Then it is gone, and the fog fills the space where it had considered being. Juniper exhales all at once. Tuesday does not move. The ravens shift closer until I could count their eyelashes. Somewhere, a clock begins to name the hour and gets bored halfway. We will not catch this by chasing it, I say. No, Tuesday says. We will invite it. How? Juniper asks, hopeful and terrified in equal measure. We give it what it thinks it is taking, I say. We give it grace. That night I sew. I do not enjoy sewing. It requires a patience that feels like surrender. Still, a trap must look like a welcome. I stitch a ribbon with a single word. I stitch it the way the film taught me, small and steady, loop after loop, until the word becomes a door. I leave threads long where they will catch the light. I lay the ribbon on the east terrace where the ravens can give testimony. Then I sit in the shadows and wait with the composure of a tomb. The fog arrives first. It glides in and kisses the stone. Then the shape returns. It moves like a thought you almost do not have. It lifts the ribbon. Fingers test the seams. The head inclines to admire the work. In that tilt, I see the certainty of a person who has never failed because they chose targets that would not fight back. I stand. The shape stills. Tuesday steps to my left like a verdict. Juniper to my right like hope with claws. Scraps perches on the balustrade, stitches trembling, ready to leap for the wrist that holds the needle. You wanted grace, I say. You can have mine. It comes with conditions. The shape laughs, a small sound like a stitch breaking. It leaves the ribbon on the stone and dissolves into fog the way a secret dissolves in boiling water. When it is gone, the ravens settle again. One of them nudges the glass eye toward me with a beak that knows the value of currency. I pick up the eye. It is cold and surprised. I pocket it with the card and the map and the obituary birds. A collection is a kind of spell. Enough pieces and the pattern speaks. Back in my room, I place the eye on the sill. The moon fits inside it like a dare. Juniper falls asleep on her side of the hall couch, mascara smudged in brave skylines. Tuesday writes for a while, then stops. She looks over. Tuesday's child, she says, is full of grace. So they say, I answer. Prove them wrong, she says. I intend to, I tell her. And the ravens outside nod, as if to say they will stay for Tuesday, but they have room for me if I continue to be interesting. That was only the first entry. The diary does not rest easily. Its words shift when the moon rises, and I can feel the next page waiting, aching to be read. If you want to know what Tuesday finds next, come back. The diary is not finished with us yet.